Hola everyone, I'm gonna open up my phone. I hope everyone is having a fantastical day. And yeah, I'm gonna read the question. It says, hi Nikki, so I have noticed, oh he's racing. If you hear him mumbling, he's talking to people on the racetrack. Hi Nikki, so I've noticed that my parents have been acting differently as of lately. They are generally not very optimistic or animated people, but it seems to me that they are showing signs of depression recently. They are both incredibly fixated on the news, for one. My mom spends the majority of her day reading and crying over the news, and my dad will not talk about anything other than negative news and politics. They never appear to be happy anymore, and it's starting to make me very sad as well, mostly because I can't think of any way to help. My dad will not even see a general physician, let alone any other doctor. My mom also wouldn't consider my concerns to be genuine. I spend most of my time commuting to grad school and working, so I can't be there for my parents a lot of the time either. Both I and my family are lacking in the financial department as well, so I'm just at a loss here. What can I do? Okay, so I have two thoughts around this, and they're two kind of separate, completely, I don't know what the word is, juxtaposition, opposite thoughts, that's the word. They're two kind of opposite thoughts. So one side of me feels like you should schedule a time to sit down with your parents and genuinely present your concerns and say, look, I'm bringing this up because I love you guys and I'm worried about you. And I want to know if there's anything that I can do to help. I want to know how you're feeling. But basically, I have been noticing both of you seem severely depressed. I don't know if that's the case, but it is really hard to watch you crying for hours, Mom or Dad, to hear you talking about depressing stuff in the news. It's hard for me to see my parents like that, and it was also making me depressed about my future and my life. So what's going on? Let's talk about this. So there is that one side of me that feels like that could be a good route, and then there's this other side of me that also feels like when you grow up, you become a grown-up, and it's kind of time to make your own life decisions. And sometimes, a lot of the times, people are going through things that have nothing to do with you, and you have to just let them go through their stuff. And they're dealing with it, and they have to be sad and go through their own thing, and you have to make your own way in life and friends and community and be driven for something that you want and have your passions and your desires and build relationships. And yeah, so there's kind of two sides to this. If you've already had that talk with them and they're just not saying anything, then I kind of think that the other thing, it's like, well, that's kind of my thought. Like, you just got to do your thing. Focus on grad school. Focus on your friends. You don't need to be home as much. And maybe that kind of sucks, but if it's really dragging you down that much and you've already talked to them and there's nothing that you can do, which even if you do talk to them or you haven't talked to them and you do, and they, I don't know, I'm inclined to think that this is their things that they're going through. You have to take care of yourself and protect your future and your heart. But if you haven't talked to them, it would be worth it to let them know that you're concerned and it's affecting you. So yeah, but like I said, it sounds like you may have already talked to them and they're just dealing with their things. So my thought would be to just move forward and live your life. And I want to hear what other people have to say as well. If you know, I've dealt with similar situations, how that panned out for you, I'm literally about to repeat myself, what you did, that's like the same thing. So yeah, I'm sorry though. It's hard, and a lot of people are going through, I think a lot of people go through rough times at any point in history, so I hesitate to even say this, but I think a lot of people are going through some tough times right now as stuff changes, as entire industries are making shifts and changes, and there's just a lot going on. But like I said, I think a lot goes on always in life, you know what I mean? Like, there used to be civil wars and slavery out here, like, not even that long ago, and then there's just a lot, there's like history, a lot of stuff goes on. So yeah. Now the Twitter question says, how did you and Dan meet? I've told this story before, long story short, so I don't bore everyone watching the video. Dan and I met, technically my story is church poker night, although he doesn't remember meeting me that night. I met him like 4 other times that he doesn't remember meeting me. He remembers meeting me for the first time. He came to a singing show that I was in. It was taking a singing class at a local community college, and there was like our final was like a concert, and I was singing, and Dan came to see his friend who was in the concert, and he saw me sing, and he always jokes about it because I was singing Soak Up the Sun by Cheryl Cole, and he was joking because he was like, you were literally the palest person I'd ever seen, and you were singing about soaking up the sun. And after that, he basically just pretty much pursued me nonstop. I was kind of dating another guy, and so we backed off, but when he found out that the guy and I broke up, like literally days later, which it was my birthday party, he showed up and started pursuing me like nonstop. He was like, I knew that was my chance in, so I had to come in. So that's how we met. So yeah. That is it, guys. If you want to send me questions or messages, obviously all of that will be down below. My email, the hashtag Asknikkip on Twitter, and I will see you guys next week. I hope you have a good weekend, and yeah, I always feel weird saying bye, so I'm just not going to say bye, okay?